Hello, guys, and welcome back from spring break and to our distance learning model. It's Mr. Sanchez, and I'm here to teach you guys about multiplying binomials. And the thing about multiplying binomials is we should be fairly familiar. All we got to do is remember the use of our distributive property. Now, I know this is something that we struggled with, so we're going to be going over that as well today. Another thing, welcome back. Uh, Up until now, our lessons have been pretty easy, but today we're gonna kick it up a notch. All right, so do not be upset. I know it's gonna be hard, but let's review. We're gonna review the distributive property. Distributive property. Wow. So what does it mean to distribute? Distributing, So if you have a fire mixtape, you're gonna be handing it out. You're gonna be this person. You're like, here's my mixtape, and there's gonna be someone here, someone here, and they're gonna be like, here, have my mixtape. You see, whatever you're all holding, you want everybody to have. That's what distributing means, basically. So since we have a fire mixtape, 4 is gonna be our fire mixtape in this case, and x plus 2 is going to be the people we want to give it to. X is a person and 2 is also a person. All right. So to distribute, you're going to be 4 times x. All right. So we're going to have 4 times x. You're going to keep this symbol, the plus, and then you're going to have 4 times 2. And then you just perform the operation. What's 4 times x? That's just going to be 4x plus, what's 4 times 2? 8. And that's it. We have distributed the multiplication of 4. 4 is your mixtape, and you're trying to give it to X and to 2. All right? That's the way I like to think about it. If you ever walk down the street, people do that in Hollywood. All right, so this is example 1. Example number 2 is what happens if you have a negative. All right, so this time it's so cool. So let's say we have negative 4. We're going to see how that affects the inside, our result, right? So we have 4 and then x plus 2. Same example, only this time we have a negative in the front. So process is the same. We're going to have negative 4 times x. That's going to be negative 4 times x. You're going to keep, right here it's plus and then a minus. So that's going to give us a negative. So we're going to carry the negative from the red. Negative 4 and then times 2. That's going to give us negative 4x minus 8. All right. And then another case is what happens if we have negative, well, negative times negative. Well, we'll have another example. Two more examples before we begin the actual lesson today. So we're going to have negative 3 times x minus 2. X minus 2. And so we're going to have negative 3 times x, negative 3 times x. And right here, you'll notice it's minus, minus. Negative times the negative is positive, and you're going to have 3 times 2, which is going to give us the answer negative 3x plus 6. And now the last case we're going to show you is what happens if we have something that looks like this. What happens if we have something that looks like this? Negative x plus 1, right? So we have negative x plus 1. What we got to remember is whenever you see a negative outside of a parentheses, we're going to have an invisible 1 here. It's invisible. So you're going to distribute. It's going to be negative 1. Oops. That's not where we have to write that. So that's going to equal to negative 1 times x plus, oops, nope. Remember, it's negative times positive, so that's going to give us negative 1. And then times 1. That's going to give us negative x minus 1. All right. And so this is just a distributive property. Now we're going to be using this to be able to multiply using binomials. All right. So what is a binomial? If you remember from the previous chapters, a binomial is any expression that has two terms, so like a plus b. That's a binomial. But in this case, our binomials are going to look more like this. It's going to be more like x plus 2 or 3x minus 1. All right. That's more like it. And we're going to learn how to multiply these together. All right. And we're going to be using the FOIL method. But first, we just got to write this down. You're going to be seeing a problem that says x plus 2 times 3x minus 1. Now, right now, we're going to be combining a couple of things we've learned. We're going to be using the distributive property, but we're also going to be using something known as FOIL. Now, some of us might have heard it before, some of us have not. That's okay. Today, we're going to learn it or review it, depending on who you are, right? And so this refers to first, can't even spell, first, outer, inner, last. And that's just the order that we're going to be multiplying. This isn't the way I like to teach it, but this is the way that a lot of people do remember it. All right. So first, we're going to do the first. All right. So we're going to be focusing on this. So it's going to be first. What's first? The x and the 3x. These are first. They're the first ones inside the parentheses. So we're going to do the x times 3x. All right. And so we're gonna denote that with x times, and then we'll use the blue for the left side, I guess. 3x. All right. Now let's just keep it all in red. X times 3x. So that's first. And now we're going to do the outer. All right. We're going to do outers. These are the ones on the outside. That's going to be, and you're always going to separate these with a plus sign. Plus. All right. And you're going to have this as x times, and so you see how this has a negative? Normally we'd put the negative, but we're going to put this in parentheses here. Negative. All right. Those are the outer ones. Next, we're going to do the inners. And our inners are these right here. 2 times 3. Remember, we got to separate our answers with a plus sign. 2 times 3x is going to be 2 times 3x. And then our last numbers. So our remaining terms, right? Everything at the end. Let's see, where's my green? Right? So we're going to have 2 times negative 1. And that's going to, and then all we got to do is combine things. All right, so x times 3x, if we remember, that's going to be 3x squared. X times x is x squared, and then we have the 3 in the front. X times negative 1 is negative x. All right, we do not keep the 1 that's invisible. 2 times 3x is going to be 6x, and 2 times negative 1 is going to be negative 2. Now we got to combine our like terms. And so we're going to have 3x squared plus negative 1. There's like an invisible 1 here. Negative 1 plus 6x is going to be positive 5x minus 2. And this is our final answer. If this method is a little bit too confusing, we do have a different method that we can show. And the method and I'm going to show you guys do it the exact same example. So we can use what's called the box method. It's called the box method because we use a box. All right, we're going to use a box to show our maths. All right, so we're going to have x plus 2 over here, and we're going to have 3x minus 1 here. All right, and all you're going to do is multiply x times 3x. What's that? That's going to be 3x squared. All right, and next up, we're going to do 2 times 3x, which is going to be 6x. Right? And then we're going to repeat the process. X times negative 1, that's going to be negative x. And 2 times negative 1 is going to be negative 2. Next, all you got to do is add up the diagonals. Each corner, so this corner, you're just going to bring it out. So the corner's like that. So this is going to equal to 3x squared. And now you're going to add these two together. So you're going to do plus 6x minus x. And then you're going to add this one. So minus 2. This is going to give us 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. And this answer is the same as this. Alright? That's the same method, alright? All the same. So remember, you're going to do first, outer, inner, last, or you can do the box method. Alright? They are both valid. And, that's about it. I'm going to show you guys another example. And we're going to use we're going to use the FOIL method. And we're going to have x plus 2 and then x minus 7, alright? So first we're going to do the first numbers, x times x. X times x is x. We're just going to write it all out, alright? And then plus, well, now we're going to do the outers. X times negative 7. X times negative 7. Now we're going to do the inners. So that's going to be 2 times x. And now we're going to use the last numbers in the parentheses. Positive 2 times negative 7. Right? So 2 times negative 7. X times x, that is x squared. And then x times negative 7 is just going to be negative 7x. Then negative takes over the positive. And then plus 2x. And then 2 times 7 is going to be negative 14. And that's going to equal x squared. And then negative 7 plus 2x is going to be negative 5x. And then minus 14. And we're done. Ta-da. Yeah. And then I can highlight these just to show you what came from what. This came from the red, which is the first. And then this came from the outers, which is the last. This came from the inners, which is the first two in the middle. And this came from the last ones. It's first, outer, inner, last. Yeah. And that's basically it, guys. Make sure to take notes. You're gonna have an assignment on Schoology posted. All right, guys. Sanchez out, guys. I miss you guys.